Okay, we are again recording. Um, our next presentation is by myself. I'm Ashley with the Maryland State Library for the Blind and Print Disabled. Our previous presenter is answering questions in the chat, and her contact information is available on our website as well. So I want to again thank Marla for doing an amazing job, and we're going to keep rolling here. So for those who don't know, the Maryland State Library for the Blind and Print Disabled is located here in Maryland. I'm going to change my next slide. Um, and about us, our mission at LBPD is to provide comprehensive library services to eligible blind and print disabled residents of Maryland. Our vision is to provide innovative and quality services to meet the needs and expectations of our patrons. And I want to be very clear that there is a library like ours in every state. We are an award winner. I'm going to throw that out. John probably is sitting there smiling now because I will throw that out. We are an award winner. Um, and we are a cooperating library of the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled. The National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled um, is constantly expanding its mission. They are provided by by the Library of Congress. It is a free service. So just very quickly, recapping reading disabilities. People, when I go out and do outreach, tend to hear the word blind and they stop cold. Oh, I'm not blind. And they don't hear the rest of what we offer and have to say. Our agency provides services to those who are blind, and blindness is a spectrum, to those who are low vision, but to those also who have print disabilities. Those are going to be individuals who cannot hold a book, turn a page, or have a reading disability like dyslexia. A reading disability is a condition that makes it difficult for an individual to recognize, decode, or comprehend written words in the same way as their peers. Dyslexia is the most common example. That's what we're talking about today. It affects how the brain processes language, and it makes reading, spelling, and sometimes writing, as we saw in our last presentation, a challenge despite normal and sometimes above average intelligence and effort. Other reading disabilities can come from neurological difference, brain injuries, or cognitive organic dysfunctions. For many, accessible formats such as audiobook, electronic text-to-speech, or specialized reading technology opens the door for learning literacy and the enjoyment of reading. And let's be honest, who doesn't? I mean, we're all here. We're all obviously literacy advocates. So at some point, we love to read. Who doesn't like to curl up and be told a story, either through print, braille, or audio? It's just a thing, especially now with the weather changing. Our core services our core services at the Maryland State Library for the Blind and Print Disabled is to provide free books and magazines in audio, braille, and large print, along with direct digital download through Bard and Bard Mobile. Services include a digital talking book player, a braille e-reader, accessible college textbooks, Bookshare membership, access to NFB Newsline, technology and training. LBPD also offers programs and events that connect our patrons with resources, community engagement opportunities, and ensures equal access to reading and information. So just again to highlight, books in audio and braille through mail or download, magazines in audio and braille through mail or download, assistive textbook programs for students enrolled in 2 or 4-year brick and mortar Maryland colleges, and again, events and programs for those unable to access traditional print. This slide is our digital talking book machine. I have a picture of it on the slide. The digital talking book machine is approximately 6 inches wide, 9 inches long, 1.5 to 2 inches thick, and weighs about 1.5 pounds. The digital talking book machine is free. It's easy to use. All the buttons talk to you, which is amazing. And it's provided to all of our patrons at no cost. It plays books that are specially formatted, that are sent in the mail. Um, the books come on a cartridge that is also shown on the screen in the corner. The cartridge is a big USB drive. It's a piece of plastic, but it's got a USB-A connector, and it pops into the very front of the player. You can also download books from Bard, put them on a flash drive, and plug them in the side of your player. It has very simple navigation buttons, adjustable speeds, and volume. Could you imagine? I've narrated a few books for us. I sound like a 12-year-old child. You want to add a little bass, so adjust that tone, adjust that speed. And it's very clear human voice playback. It is lightweight, it is portable, and it really makes reading accessible. That is our digital talking book machine. Up next is one of my favorite things, and I do mean favorite. I use it every day. For those who don't know, I am myself dyslexic and really wish I had had this service in school. But the Braille and audio reading download service is an amazing, amazing service. Ooh, and it allows you to download your books and on your iOS or Android device. It is a free app from the National Library Service that gives eligible patrons access to thousands, and I do mean hundreds of thousands, of audiobooks, Braille books, and magazines. It allows users to download directly to their device, and what makes it nice is that it allows you to hang on to the book for as long as you need it, and there's simultaneous download, which means that if you want the latest James Patterson and I want the latest James Patterson, we don't have to wait for each other to send it back. It's an immediate download, which is so nice. Also, Bard is great for students who have dyslexia, especially if they're reading along with the physical book. I still do that myself sometimes. It kind of makes that go together. As was pointed out, there are Braille readers who are dyslexic, and we provide services for those individuals as well through both print Braille and electronic Braille. We offer thousands of Braille books and magazines through the mail or through download from Bard. Patrons can actually get from us, and I have a picture of it on the screen, a e-Braille reading machine. It is a humanware Braille e-reader, and it features a 20-cell display and a keyboard for reading and navigation. It allows you to type in and access and download your materials. It has a pretty decent size storage inside. If you have not seen this device, it is about 4.5 to 5 inches long, about 3 inches wide, and an inch thick. It is actually very compact. To explain why this is so amazing, if you could remember Joy of Cooking, the book, it is what, 3.5, 4 inches thick with size 0 font. In Braille, that translates to 36 interlaced, that means front and back, 6-inch Braille volumes. Could you imagine getting that through the mail? That would just be insane, right? So we provide you the ability to download it directly. You can throw it in your bag and off you go. And it's a wonderful tool for those who are print disabled and Braille readers. So I kind of hit you with a lot of things really quick. So our goal is to provide access to individuals who cannot access traditional library services. We are providing them Braille and audio materials. But in addition to that, we have an amazing staff here that work to provide access to the community. One of which is our youth services librarian, LaShawn. The Maryland State Library for the Blind, through LaShawn's leadership, offers free youth services, including books, youth-focused events. Programs that she designs are encouraging the lifelong learning and the lifelong love of reading. and she supports parents, and she works with schools. Her whole goal is to get kids to fall in love with reading, and she does an amazing job with that. For those who are choosing to pursue higher education, Joseph Beckett is our Maryland textbook coordinator. And the Maryland Accessible Textbook Program, housed within the Library for the Blind and Print Disabled, provides accessible textbooks for college students enrolled in 2 or 4 year brick and mortar schools here in Maryland. It is designed for students who are blind, visually impaired, or have print disabilities like dyslexia. They actually will work with the students to convert the textbooks into an MP3 format, a large print format, an EPUB format. Um, they work in conjunction with the DSS office, sometimes also called Access Office, sometimes it's called something else, but they work with the school directly to provide services. And they will acquire the textbook and they will make it work to the best of their ability. There are some limitations, of course. We do need students to get us their materials as quickly as possible so that we can turn things around to them as quickly as we can. I do know that the textbook program also is working with the schools because as teachers move away from traditional textbooks and to more open source documents, they are working on converting those materials as well. It is an amazing program, kind of a hidden gem that we really want students with dyslexia going off to higher learning to utilize. NFB Newsline. Um, so NFB Newsline is a free service provided by our Friends group and by the National Federation of the Blind. It allows individuals to access news, magazines in audio format. It can be done through an app, on the website, or over the phone. It gives you access to over 500 publications. So if you've got a student or a young adult who is very interested in, you know, science, might be a great place for them to go and find articles on science to listen to. Um, it also offers, weather alerts, jobs listings, and so much more. Our agency also provides access to Bookshare. You're probably already familiar with Bookshare through school. Bookshare and Learning Ally are typically provided to students with dyslexia to allow them to access additional resources. We offer it to our patrons who are outside of school. So, for instance, Bookshare is an ebook library. It allows them access to, I think, over 1 million titles, and you can do it through download. You can read it on the screen and follow along as it highlights. The drawback to Bookshare is that it is a synthetic reading voice for many of their materials. They scan the book and use pre-programmed voices to read the book to you. The big difference between Bookshare and our library is that we use human voices. They are starting to change that. They are using more and more human voices, but just be aware you may go to Bookshare, pick a great book, and get an automated voice. It's still a great book. It does a great job. I just don't want you to be shocked when you do that. This service is provided by our Friends group. It is not what you will find at every library for the blind and print disabled, but it is provided by our Friends group to Maryland residents who are unable to access traditional print. Events and programs. This is my favorite place besides BARD. Events and programs is something we love to do. LBPD hosts a wide range of programs and events to educate, inspire, and connect. We've done author talks, technology workshops, cultural experiences. If you missed it, we actually went to the Guinness Brewery and did a whole tour and taste testing. Those are for our adults. And LaShawn does, you know, programs and events geared towards young adults and children. And we do programs both virtually so that you can attend from anywhere, and we do things in person. All events are created with accessibility in mind, ensuring that everyone can participate fully. Examples, we have done Clayworks has come to the library. We've even gone to Clayworks. They are a nonprofit group that tries to get individuals to really express their selves through clay. They came and did several workshops for us. We have virtual hikes and tactile tours. If you're asking what a virtual hike is, come back in April. I promise you, we're going to Mexico. It's going to be great. We have a summer reading program. You know, during the summer, people stop reading because there's so many things going out there and they slide academically. We try to stop that by providing programs and events and reading resources during that time. We provide guest speakers and lectures so that you are getting a well-rounded experience. And then finally, we do have a podcast. We have three, technically. We have the Maryland State Library Agency's overall podcast. We have LBPD Guest Hour, and we have LBPD Technology User Group, which I need to emphasize. Jerry's going to be talking about that in his presentation. The Technology User Group talks about assistive technology. They bring in people, they bring in demonstrations, all virtually to learn about how you can navigate the world with assistive tech. So let's talk about print disabilities and how to qualify. First, I want to tell you, this is a free service. Okay, this is absolutely free. This is not something that you're gonna you do the application, you're done. There's no exchange of funds. Individuals may qualify for service if a competent authority states that they have a perceptual or reading disability like dyslexia that makes it impossible to access printed materials at the same level as someone without that disability. Fancy words, right? What it means. It means if you are unable to access traditional print due to a visual, physical, or organic reading disability like dyslexia, like stroke, like certain TBIs, where processing print is unavailable to you, you may qualify for service. Once you have the application in your hand, it does need to be certified by a certifying authority. How do you do that? So first, download our application. Go to our website, download it today. I just have it ready. The application will ask several questions, and if you're under 18, a parent's signature is required in addition to the certifying authority. An application that is certified can be done so by a doctor, a nurse, a social worker, speech pathologist, rehabilitation teacher, or a professional at an institution who will state that you meet the criteria for service. This can be a teacher of the visually impaired. This can be a certified librarian. Again, this application is a federal application. If you are in a different state and you're watching today, you can go to the National Library Services website, download a generic application, and send that to your local library, and they will process it. Our application in Maryland has a few additional pages just so that we can tailor services to meet your needs and offer you additional options. But to get started, you need an application. You can get one from your local library, you can get one from the website, or you can get one from an LBPD serving your area. Once the application arrives at our agency or the agency you're sending it to, it is processed and you are sent either information via email if you choose to download materials, or you are sent a player in the mail with a selection of books. So how do you get in touch with us? Here in Maryland, it's very simple. Here in Maryland, you can just call us. 410-230-2424, or go to our website, lbpd.maryland.gov. If you are outside of Maryland, I encourage you to Google the words National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled. And the first link that comes up will be the service, and then it'll say, find your local library. You type in your state, and it tells you who your local library is. There is at least one in every state. Some states have multiple. Maryland, we got just the one. And like I said, we're an award winner, so we do the whole state. But that's LBPD in a nutshell. And again, I cannot stress this enough. Every state has a library like ours, and we are wanting to reach out into the print disabled community, the individuals with dyslexia, individuals who've had a stroke or receptive aphasia or something like that. We are trying to reach this audience, and we want them to know that they can access free books and magazines through our services, either through the mail or direct download. And many of our libraries across the country offer programming, events, offer community engagement opportunities, and supplementary services that span the gamut. So I encourage you to take some time to do that. I'm going to open the floor for questions. If you'd like, raise your hand, I'll unmute you. And I see Marla's still here, so shout out to Marla for being so patient and answering all those questions in the Q&A.
You're on mute.
Sorry about that. I've not had enough coffee today. So first, the question was, can I provide the link in the chat? And the answer is yes. I've done that. The second question is, are there downloadable flyers and materials that we can share with patrons and parents and things like that at your institution? Yes. If you go to the library's main website, lbpd.maryland.gov, and scroll down a little bit, you will find the links to every brochure for every service we offer. We have a general information brochure. The general information brochure covers, in a snapshot, everything we do. We have an assistive technology brochure that will cover our technology user group that meets monthly to talk about assistive tech. Again, that is open to everybody. You do not need to be a patron to attend. We have one that's geared towards students, youth services, and then we have one that is geared towards college students. Some materials are available also in Spanish. Our application is also on our website. You can download that and save that on your computer. I make sure that every time our information is updated, that is not only updated on our website, but if you are here in Maryland and you are a professional librarian, a teacher, I send it out to many, many, many contacts who will then send it on to you. That being said, you're always free to reach out to me directly, and I will be happy to share the resources with you. It's fun watching 3 screens, just saying. So many dings. Any additional questions? Oh, okay. cool. We have a surprise commenter. This is awesome. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Just hang tight. Okay. Uh, all right. LaShawn, I sent you a um, link to unmute. You should see it on your screen. LaShawn, are you there? I apologize. LaShawn, can you hear me? Oh, okay. I apologize. LaShawn, if let me see if I can find you and get you to unmute. All right, come on. Just oh, okay. So LaShawn is here. She can't for some reason can't get her mic to unmute. I have to give her a shout out and tell you that she does amazing things for our youth community across the state, programs, events, reading challenges. And she also takes the time to work with teachers and school administrators to get our services into schools. And she's been a great advocate for that. Um, for some reason, she can't unmute, so I'm saying that for her. Um, two more questions have popped up. Uh, Shelly from Michigan messaged me and she said that she wants everyone to know that talking programs are fully operational across the country. So please make sure you utilize your library. Lisa said, are there resources for college students available at any college, or are they just state community institutions? Do you need to be a resident of Maryland? The way our college program works is that you have to be enrolled in a brick and mortar Maryland higher education school. You need to be in a 2 or 4 year institution that has a physical building in Maryland. That's the requirement. And you have to be a patron of our library. So you do have to fill out an application with a Maryland address. You can use your school if you're living on campus, or you can use your apartment or your house, whatever works for you. But you do need to be enrolled in a brick and mortar school to access that service. And I know Joe, who could not be here today, really encourages students to continue working with their access services office and to advocate for themselves. All right. Are there any further questions I can answer about the library services either across the country or here in Maryland? Go ahead, Renee, give me a second and I will unmute, send you a link to unmute.
Hey, Ashley.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Is this LaShawn? Is this you?
No, it's Renee.
It's Renee. Okay.
Now, quick question. I work at the public library, and we have a customer who has told us that she is visually impaired and things of that nature. She calls regularly, at least once a week, once every other week. If I give her the next time she calls, if I give her that number that you have in the chat, the 410-230-2424, can you, what happens if I give her that number? Can you give me like, and I know you've talked about a lot of amazing programs, but if I give her that number and she calls, what happens? Does she get connected with the LBPD program of Maryland, because she is a Maryland resident?
Yes. So anybody who calls that number will get there is an automated prompt. It will ask a couple of questions to make sure they get to the right person. But typically for individuals who are calling for information requests, go to our reference desk. The person at the reference desk will will either answer live, or if they're on another call, they will call back. They will take her information and send her a physical application if she is unable to access it herself online. The application does require a signature of a certifying authority. That is literally the hardest part. It is getting, people have to wait till they have transportation to the next time that they go visit a doctor or nurse. Kids obviously have to wait until their parents can take them. But I will tell you that more and more doctors' offices, nurses' office, school administrators, and things like that are willing to get the application via email, print it off, sign it, and return it to you. So there are some options there for you.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right. I don't see any more questions. Oh, yep. Yes, Jennifer had asked, what about students who are enrolled in a Maryland university, but it's online? The rule is it has to be a physical. So you can always double check with Joe and see how that works. But as far as our rules go, you have to be in a brick and mortar school. If there are additional questions, I will throw my email and office phone number in the chat. And we will be reconvening at 1 o'clock for our next talk, which is going to be about assistive technology. That will be my colleague, Jerry Price. He knows his stuff. He is the tech guru besides Chris around here. So please join us at 1 o'clock. Thank you.